You are listening to Single Smart Female.
This is us letting it all hang out for your love life, examining Steph's dating experiences and answering your hot topic dating questions. Just you, Steph, and me. No topic is off limits and no filters involved. This is Jen.
And I'm Steph. If you have a question about your love life that you would like us to answer, you can submit your question at singlesmartfemale.com.
Welcome, Single Smart Female. We have a brand new, hot off the press. Can I say that when we're doing a podcast?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Hot off the press show for you. It's just not, I still feel like there's something wrong with that. But,
Well,
yeah,
it's not written press.
true.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
I'm still your host, Jen Burton. And I'm joined by my
Co-host?
My famous co-host,
Famous.
Steph. Yes. She's Twitter famous.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that, right?
Somebody quoted me once. That was very, very exciting.
You were very excited.
I was. I didn't even know she was quoting me until
I told you she was quoting you.
Pointed it out, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I'm famous.
Sweet. Okay.
Huh.
With that said, our famous Steph is going to read our listener submission today from
She wears her heart on her sleeve.
Miss. She wears her heart on her sleeve.
Miss. She wears her heart on her sleeve.
Yes. And where does she hail from? Does she say?
Chicago.
Woohoo! Chicago. Windy City. I've only been in the airport. Somebody needs to take me to Chicago and show me around.
Yeah, absolutely. Chicago's great. I love Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, she's 28 and she writes, there's this guy I've known for 5 years. We met through a mutual friend and we really hit things off when we first met. We always enjoyed each other's company and can be ourselves around each other. But we never got physical. This includes not kissing. To make a long story short, he told me that this was because there were a lot of things he wanted to accomplish in his life, such as going back to school, and also did not want to lead me on when he was talking to other women. I respected that, especially considering we were in our 20s, early 20s. After a few months, we went our separate ways and each got into other relationships. Fast forward to now. He is back in my life. We are both single. While I was not necessarily interested at first, he came around this time hardcore. I mean, constantly texting, looking me up on LinkedIn, liking all my photos on the gram. He forced himself back into my life. So I let him. When we first rekindled again, mid-January of this year, he told me he is looking for a wife and wants to make sure that it's the right person. We probably hang out around once a week. He pays for all of our dates, is somewhat flirty, and we are constantly in communication. However, sometimes he is weird when I make myself romantically vulnerable. He usually always seems non-committal when I try to make plans in advance. Anyway, following your wise advice, I have my mantourage, which probably needs some reworking, but that's another story. Well, at first, I gladly added him to my team. I was not super invested. As time progressed over the past month or so, I feel myself developing those same feelings I had for him years ago. I feel like since we have this history and he is so set on finding his forever person, we do not need to start from scratch. He has taken priority over the other males and I think about him all the time. I cannot play it cool anymore. I cannot help but get frustrated with him, especially when, once again, things are not physical. What's his angle? So this is where things got ugly. He has pretty much hinted to me that he is talking to other women, and for Valentine's Day this year, all I got was a Happy Valentine's Day text at 12 a.m. and crickets until 2 days later. That completely pissed me off. I felt like I was not a priority to him, but tried to talk myself out of it and told myself it is still early. I am 100% sure he was with someone else and is dating other women regularly. While I almost confronted him, I chose not to instead. I kind of gave him the cold shoulder after Valentine's Day. I was very short with him. We did not talk the rest of the weekend. However, today I was listening to your podcast, the first one, and I thought there was a good message in short that it's okay for guys to go MIA so we can give them the chance to step it up. I felt bad about being so short with him when we last spoke, so I texted him this morning. When I asked him how his weekend was, it sounded like he went on another date, a late night movie. This, mind you, came after I suggested we go out this weekend, but knew he had class. And now I'm sitting here upset once again. So tell me, how should I handle this? Should I drop him from my mantourage? Am I being friend-zoned? Is he playing games? I think I'm having trouble understanding why he would want to come back into my life just to do what he did to me years ago. I feel like it's deja vu.
I like that, by the way. It feels like deja vu.
A more general question. With the mantourage, how do you not start feeling way more emotions toward one person?
Okay. So I feel a little sad when I read this because I realize Miss She Wears Her Heart on the Sleeve. I understand why she feels like deja vu. This makes perfect sense to care about somebody that much and they don't pay attention to you the way that you would like them to. Now, I do want to say, though, she said she listened to our very first episode, which thank you. We really appreciate that. And I also noticed in her submission that she heard about us via word of mouth, which I love. So ladies, I want to put in, if you have somebody that can use our help, do me a favor and text them this episode or any episode that you think would be really relevant to them. That means everything to us. Now, feeling like deja vu, listening to our very first episode, which talks about guys going MIA. To me, it doesn't sound like this guy is going MIA exactly. It sounds like he is having consistently having contact with you. The big concern and the thing that Steph brought up right now, and I'm going to pass the mic to her for this reason, is the lack of physical attention, physical affection. That's probably the biggest concern in this entire scenario. Steph, do you mind elaborating?
It is like you said. What's his angle here? It's oh gosh,
I know you're having trouble saying this, and it's okay. I'm going to start it, and I'm going to let you eject because I know this is hard for you. So Steph's going to share a story here in a second about a friend who has been through a guy friend who's been through a situation like this on the end, that not your end, but the guy's end, and she's going to talk about that in just a second. But what Steph doesn't want to say right now, because it's not our favorite thing to say, I'm going to tell you what it actually means. But when I say this to you, I want you to take a breath. And it sounds like that this man isn't physically attracted to you. With that said, I want to tell you that that is okay. We get really upset when we really like somebody if they're not physically attracted to us. And I want to tell you right now, and even in my programs, I tell women to not worry about that. There are going to be lots of people that you find attractive that are going to be very attracted to you as well. Somebody not being attracted to you is a protective mechanism. It doesn't say anything about how physically attractive you are. And I want Steph to now tell us that story because I'm going to explain why.
So I have a guy friend who was dating this young woman, like going out on a lot of dates with her, spending a lot of time with her, but he would never take it to the next level physically. They kissed a few times, but even that was very, very minimal. He really, loved spending time with her. And I've met this woman. She is beautiful.
And Steph showed me a picture of her. She is phenomenally gorgeous.
Yes.
I'm sitting there thinking, why wouldn't he be attracted to her? But, there's not always an explanation for that.
And, honestly, like he kind of was wondering the same thing. That's he would say that, like, on some level, it doesn't make that much sense to me or whatever, because she is an attractive woman. I'm just not attracted to her in that way. And so, yeah, please don't take this as
you're not attractive.
Exactly.
You are still very attractive just because one particular person might not be attracted to you. And there can be so many reasons for that, none of which you should make your own and internalize.
Very, very important. But it's okay to say he's just not attracted to me, because what that really means is, just like when somebody stands us up or something happens, it just means there's an opportunity for somebody much better out there that's more in line with what you really want. Plus, this person that that Steph is talking about, we can't tell for sure. Maybe he isn't attracted to somebody that's really attractive and really likes him back because he's blocking himself.
Right.
Guys have issues as well. We know that. We tend not to focus on the guy issues here at Single Smart Female, because we know we're focused on you having the love life that you want. We're not trying to put the focus on men. We understand what's going on with men. But we're not going to sit there and analyze every little thing a man does, because it doesn't really truly benefit you. But it is okay to be okay with a man not being attracted to you. Says nothing about your actual beauty. The only thing it says is that this guy doesn't need your attention right now. You should focus on the men that are treating you the way that you want to be treated and who are attracted to you. Now, I know, because you listened to the first episode and you were talking about keeping somebody in your entourage. I'm going to say, yes, it is okay if you want to keep him in your entourage, so long as you start focusing your attention on the men, like really focusing your attention on the men and increasing the talent in your entourage, focusing on the men who are treating you the way that you want to be treated and are attracted to you and have made it obvious that they are attracted to you. And I know those men exist. Okay. So that's where your attention's going to go. Now, if this keeps driving you crazy, then I want you to kick him out of your entourage.
Something I want to add, because she says, is he playing games? Am I being friend zoned? So here's the thing. There doesn't always have to be malicious intent. Like, for instance, with my friend, he kept taking her out on dates because he thinks that she's a wonderful person, and he wanted to be with her.
Yes.
And that could be what's happening with you guys. He feels the same, like, strong connection, easy to be with you, has a great time with you, laughs. It sucks for him on some level too. And it's not that he's trying to play games with you or even that he's trying to friend zone you per se. It's just, it's not worth your time to try and convince him that you're attractive.
Yes, but let me say something to that. So I believe I've talked about this story before, but if I haven't, I'm bringing it up now. When I lived in Mexico, I had a roommate who was not attracted to me at all when we first moved in together, a male roommate. And of course, I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but as I was dating while I was down there, the next thing I know, because I was having so much fun with other men, all of a sudden I became insanely attractive to him. Attraction, like I talked to you ladies about chemistry is malleable. Attraction is,
also malleable.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And he may not be physically attracted to you right at this moment, but he may at some point switch and become insanely attractive. But that's not going to happen if you focus on him and you try to make that happen. It never works that way, ever.
Yeah, exactly. A more general question. How do you not start feeling way more emotions towards one person? Well, I mean, you can't really, it's not about not feeling what you feel. You can feel what you feel. You just have to temper it.
Or prioritize your love life. Prioritize the men that really treat you the way that you want to be treated, that, being with a guy that you also find attractive and who's obviously really attracted to you. If you're with that guy and you're really enjoying his company, your emotions towards this other guy are going to start to dissipate.
Right.
Because you're going to start craving being treated the way that you want to be treated versus being treated in a crappy way. That's what we women do all the time. We focus on these guys that aren't treating us the way that we want to be treated. And we get accustomed to that, accustomed to living in a place of settling for romantic scraps instead of doing like what I did in 2006 and started paying attention to the guys that treated me the way I wanted to be treated. And then all of a sudden I didn't have time or even a desire to be around the guys that weren't willing to step up.
Today's show is brought to you by thelovesickcure.com. Does your love life suck because you can't move on from the idea of him? Does every man you meet pale in comparison to the way he made you feel? It's okay, lady love. We 100% understand. whether you'd like the opportunity to get him back or to completely move on. We know this only happens when you cure your lovesickness. Let us help you today at thelovesickcure.com. Hey, Single Smart Female. Welcome to segment 2 of Single Smart Female.
I think you've said that. Let's make that clear again. What are we talking about?
Today, we are going to talk about how to break out of your
Dating type.
dating type.
You should have seen Steph's face. It went white and blank all at the same time.
What are we talking about today?
Dating type. So, and how to break out of it. So I know you've seen this stuff. I see it quite a bit. Women come to us and they have that one guy that they think they're the only guy that they're, type of guy that they're attracted to. And we'll suggest something and they say, well, I'm not really attracted to that guy, that kind of guy, or this or that. I don't want to do that because of there's just this list of reasons to disqualify all other types of guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be very detrimental to creating the love life that you want. Not because you won't end up with a guy that you're really, really attracted to. You will.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to be said here about sticking to one type of guy, like the girl who only dates Jersey guys. Which, to be honest, I think I would find very trying.
Gym tan laundry. Sorry.
Gym tan sex laundry. Can you pump it hard? No, okay. Anyways, so back to breaking out of your dating type. Let's talk about number one. Number one is, first, before anything, you actually need to identify the pattern. You know, if you can see the type of man, and most women, I can tell you already have a type. Now, there are women out there who don't, but I want you to take a notebook, sit down with a pen, and list all of the major guys that you have dated or had relationships with. Okay? And look at and see if you find any similarities between them, whether it be personality type, whether it be career, whether it be ethnicity, whether it be, I had a dating type when I first started doing this, and I would only date guys who did not live or who were not from the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we form these dating types because we think it's because that's the only type of guy we're attracted to, but sometimes we do it because we think that that's the only type of guy that will be attracted to us. So I used to date exclusively guys from foreign countries because I thought that those were the only guys that would be attracted to my very curvy body. And I was so very wrong about that. So we use our patterns to keep us from having what we want. So first step is, you're laughing at me, Steph.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because of who you ended up with.
I know.
Very
Very what?
Very,
go ahead. I gotta hear
very this. American Southern boy. Gentleman, Southern gentleman.
Yes, I agree. Thick Tennessee accent, by the way. Okay, so the first step, identify the pattern. And even if you think you don't have a pattern, sit down and see. Because the pattern may not be as obvious as you think it is, but it might be in some way. So identify that pattern first. Step number 2. And this one's from Steph specifically. And she said, suspend your judgments of men. And this part's from me, be intentional about going out with other types of men. So when I first met Steph, I remember her actually telling me, I only like artists and musicians. I remember that conversation and thinking, oh God, here we go. And what was your reasoning?
Everybody else is boring.
according to Steph.
But
back then.
here's the thing that comes along with a lot of artists and musicians. Not all of them, but a lot of them. They're also broke as fuck. Just saying.
Which would lend itself to very difficult ongoing relationships at times. Now, not all.
No.
Musicians and artists are that way. Some of them are very good about having, that's their hobby or their passion. And if they can't sustain themselves on it, they actually have solid careers. So I think that's fantastic as well. But boy, when I first talked to Steph, I knew it was going to be kind of challenging getting her away from that idea. And for a little while, it seemed that way. But then all of a sudden, she did start to see the light.
A little bit, yeah,
a little bit at a time. She baby stepped her way into it, and it has helped her dating experiences tremendously. If I was to go back into dating anytime soon, some of the things I would do now differently that I didn't do before because I just never considered it. And I wish I had at the time because it would have been very interesting. But as we've done Single Smart Female, as I've worked with ladies from around the world, as I've talked to Steph and some of her interests in different types of guys, I would definitely date Indian guys. That would be one of the things that I would definitely explore and see about because of some of the things that I've seen. And that would be an interesting dating experience and potential and love potential. There are lots of different types of guys, different ethnicities that I would definitely explore, as well as different careers and different personalities that I don't think I would have considered even when I was doing my Mantourage dating. My taste have evolved tremendously.
Yeah.
And that's what will happen. Your taste will evolve.
Oh, it's interesting. Just side note about tastes evolving. That was not my only type throughout the years. My types had changed, but I did still have, type at this time of my life and a type of that time of my life and yada, yada. Thinking about that.
Which brings me to number 3. Immediate chemistry can be deceiving.
Yes.
Very deceiving. So sometimes we lock into a type being about somebody that we always find immediate attraction with. And go ahead.
Well, oftentimes your immediate attraction is based on your comfort zone, and your comfort zone is not always what's best for you. So if you're just used to being in relationships where guys treat you a certain way and it's not, like I don't want a guy to do all these nice things for me all the time because that's just too much to handle. I can't handle all that or whatever else, I guess.
I'm going to encourage you at that point to say, you know what? I need to learn how, and yes, you need to learn how to receive and be treated better.
And you do. You can.
You absolutely 100% can, because it is not okay to only be attracted to the guys that treat you like shit.
Bad boys.
And if you come to me and say that you're only attracted to the bad boys and the guys that are emotionally unavailable, stuff like that, I'm going to say you have to retrain yourself. Okay? That's not just natural in you. That's something you've been conditioned to do because of your lack of capacity to receive. And the more you focus on the great guys, the easier it becomes. And there are so many great guys out there, so many men that want to contribute to your happiness. Again, I'm going to say it. I'm going to repeat it for the 100th time. Men cannot make you happy. Only you can make you happy. But men, real men, want to contribute to your happiness. So let them practice doing that. If a guy wants to open a door for you, let him open the door. I know that sounds very simple. If he, gives you a gift and you can say thank you, it doesn't have to mean you have to reciprocate anything. All those kind of things that you can start practicing receiving from men and helping you step into being an adored woman. And as you allow your taste to evolve in men, higher quality men will step up into your life and your love life will blossom. Okay, lover girl, it's time for the final thought on today's show.
It's always okay to include a man in your Mantourage that treats you well. However, it's most important to focus on the men that match your level of romantic interest. Today's show is brought to you by thelovesickcure.com. Does your love life suck because you can't move on from the idea of him? Does every man you meet pale in comparison to the way he made you feel? It's okay, lady love. We 100% understand. Whether you'd like the opportunity to get him back or to completely move on, we know this only happens when you cure your lovesickness. Let us help you today at thelovesickcure.com.
This is Jen.
And this is Steph.
Don't forget to subscribe to our show in your favorite podcast app, as well as share Single Smart Female with all of your single girlfriends. And if you would like to play around to learn more about Mantourage dating, come see us at havehimyourway.com.
Talk to you next time.